Yo, couples, listen up. If you're not growing in the same direction, you're gonna grow apart. And then, no matter how much you love each other, no matter how awesome it was at one point, you're not gonna be together anymore. That's why divorce rates are high. That's why all the messes are high.
So in order to avoid that, we like to think of relationship as our North Star. It's a point that we're both focused on together, very clearly aligned. There's lots of conversations and connections that...
Shared vision, shared everything. We're sharing the North Star.
Exactly, and we're heading that way. So when things get bumpy, crunky, crunchy, or anything in between with your partner, you can remember that you're actually on the same team, heading in the same direction.
And why is that helpful? Why is it helpful to be, pulling in the same direction? Well, if you study any metaphysics or manifestation or any of that, where you're looking is where you're going. And so if you're not looking in the same direction, again, you're not going to end up there. And when you're in the challenging parts that every relationship at some point or another gets into, it makes it really easy to throw in the towel or put your relationship on the chopping block instead of actually being like, hey, we're on the same team. So why don't I take a breath here and come back to the table and talk about what's really going on here so that we can grow together versus like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, and maybe it just comes down to you haven't actually connected in a while and you don't remember where you're going.
Yeah, so how can you get your relationship together, your relationship to be pulling in the same direction? Well, we're gonna give you 3 simple tips right now. The first one is at least monthly, weekly's even better, quarterly would be the bare minimum, but sit down and talk about your goals, your visions, your desires, the things that you want to accomplish in life. Do you want family? Do you want a big house? Do you want this? Do you want that?
Are you happy?
Are you happy? Write them all down and keep coming back to them once a month or every quarter and come back to them so that you're really shared on going in the same direction. So that's number 1. Number 2.
Take personal responsibility for how things are going and get clear with what it is that you want. And then make sure that you actually have the conversation, as he mentioned. But sometimes it really takes looking around and going, wow, I've been really grumpy and really nitpicky with my partner because I'm actually not happy with my job and I feel like I'm having to work all the time and this isn't working for me, nor is it working for our relationship. It's time to get real. So take personal responsibility of what you need to get real with and then get real together.
And the third one is lend grace. If you can bring grace and lend some grace to your partner when they're having a rough day and you're taking care of yourself, it's kind of like personal self-care. By you taking care of yourself, you can lend grace to those around you. And if you can bring grace into your relationship and not make it so dramatic and not make it so, oh my gosh, it's gonna go a long way. So again, it's have a shared vision and sit down and do it often. Take some personal responsibility for what's actually going on for you, and then lend grace to your partner at the most that you can. If you do just these 3 things, you'll see a big difference in your relationship, and you'll all of a sudden see that you're pulling in the same direction and growing together instead of apart.
So we'd love to hear how this worked for you, and please do like and subscribe and stay in touch.